I kind of have some mixed feelings about fruity perfumes in general, mainly because a lot of them are very cloying, a bit too sweet for me personally. But I have come across recently some some fruity perfumes that I actually quite enjoy, at least most of them. So I'll go through, a few of these and tell you what kind of fruit notes they have to offer. One of which, that's the first one here, very, very classic. Everyone could recognize the infamous Elizabeth Arden Red Door. This has gone through a few reformulations, and there are a few different kinds of Red Door. But in general, this is a floral perfume with some fruity notes. The fruity notes are mainly plum and peach, mainly. And those immediately give Red Door a very ripe kind of sweetness. Fortunately, I wouldn't say that this perfume is too sweet. Some perfumes kind of smell like candy, maybe smell a bit cheap, but this has actually a really nice balance because it has quite a few floral notes balanced with some musk notes and some wood notes like sandalwood or cedar, that sort of thing. And the fruit notes are mainly in the top notes, so they're more light, not too intense, not too sugary, that sort of thing. So if you're afraid of sweet perfumes like I am, then this is actually a really good balanced, fruity fragrance. It has those fruit notes, but they're borderline refreshing. Even though they do have a certain sweetness, they're still kind of, bright and light. Especially thanks to those floral notes, mainly rose, carnation, lily, orchid, that sort of thing. So, well-made perfume. It's been around for like 30 years, so obviously Elizabeth Arden, they know what they're doing with their perfumes. Next one is actually, I quite like this one. It's called Sicily by Dolce & Gabbana. Very simple perfume. The thing about this is that it has mainly citrus notes, mainly bergamot, kind of orange blossom sort of thing, and then banana. I've never heard of any other perfume use banana as a note. I personally don't find a lot of banana in this perfume. I mainly find the citrus and the orange. Other than that, it is very similar actually to Red Door in the fact that it balances out the sweetness of the fruit notes with the floral notes and a little bit of musk in the bottom. Not too strong on the musk or the wood or anything. Mainly floral and mainly fruity. And not too sugary or anything. Again, this is more of a natural sort of perfume. It has some spice notes actually, specifically nutmeg, which gives this an interesting sort of warmth that you might not expect from this sort of perfume, which makes it more interesting, I would argue. So it's definitely not your typical floral fruity perfume. It definitely has some more complexity. It has, I like when perfumes have, more intricate layers to them. They're not just one note or anything. So the next one here, one of my favorites, is called, let's see, it's struggling with me, Sublime by Jean Patou. This little sample inside. And so here's the interesting thing about this perfume, in my opinion. I think it smells very strongly of pineapple, but there are no actual pineapple notes in Sublime. Instead, it is mainly, orange, and I think a bit of lemon, for the most part, mainly citrus notes. And for that reason, it's very refreshing. I don't know where the pineapple comes from. Maybe I'm just imagining it, but it does have that kind of refreshing sweetness, from the citrus, and it blends in with, your expected floral notes of rose and jasmine, and along with some amber and some light musk. This is a very kind of naturalistic, almost not quite herbal, but it does have that natural vibe, and it's just a very kind of bright, uplifting sort of fragrance. And while it does have that sweetness from the fruit notes, I wouldn't say it's probably actually the least sweet out of all of these, especially say compared to Red Door. Red Door is quite sweet, while still balanced, but compared to that, Sublime is almost dry in comparison. The sweet notes are more subdued, which is probably why I like it so much. It's just very natural, refreshing, that sort of thing. So, next one here is actually kind of similar in terms of subdued sweetness, is Light Blue. This is for women. Eau Intense, and probably the reason why it lacks sweetness is the main fruit note it has is Granny Smith apple. If you've ever cut into Granny Smith apple and gave it a whiff, you probably know it's not all that sweet. It does have some sweetness, but it's very natural, very light, more than anything, more crisp and refreshing. And I think it also has some citrus notes as well, maybe some lemon, which also gives it a distinct lack of sweetness and more, crisp, refreshing, bright nature. And it does have some floral notes. I think there is some musk notes, but they're pretty faint. I wouldn't say that you could detect them too well. Mainly the Granny Smith apple is the main note that you will get from this. So if you want something a bit different from those juicy fruit notes and you want something drier and crisper, this is definitely the option. Anything with apple notes will give you that dry, fresh vibe. So, the last one here, I actually don't like it that much, but I am including it because it does have a distinct fruit note. Let's see. Wow, it's shiny. It's Versace Eros Perfumes for women in here. Now, if you've seen my review on this particular fragrance, you know that I have some qualms with it. I think it coming from Versace, I would expect a bit more. In my opinion, this is a very kind of one-note sort of fragrance. It's not very interesting, not very strong, kind of bland actually, but it's on this list because it has a very, very prominent note of pomegranate. You can see on this little card here what it's supposed to contain. It's supposed to contain notes of Sicilian lemon, Calabrian bergamot, and pomegranate, along with, some jasmine, sandalwood, ambrox, that sort of thing. I find that, I could just have a bad batch, but from what I have experienced, this Versace Eros for women is mainly lacking in all of those other notes except for the pomegranate, which is the star of the show in a weird, diluted way. If you like pomegranate, you'll probably like this perfume. That's all I can really smell from it, which is why I don't like it. Not that I dislike pomegranate, I like pomegranate, but the fact that this perfume is so superficial is, doesn't bode well for me. It doesn't have much complexity, it's not very interesting. But pretty much if you like pomegranate, you will like it. So that's that for that. And other than that, that's pretty much what I have to say about fruity fragrances. Most of these are pretty good. Like I said, Sublime is my favorite. Sicily, although, from Dolce and Gabbana, is in my top 5 probably. It really has a nice mix with that nutmeg note. It's really good. you know, it balances out the fruit notes, the floral notes. And for crisp, you know, crisp days, if you want to have something refreshing, light blue is really good. So other than that, that's what I have to say about fruity fragrances. You know, of course there are many more on the market, but that's what I have here with me today. So if you have any other recommendations for fruity fragrances, you can leave those down in the comments below. If you liked the video, leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.